We take you live now to Vaughan, where York Regional Police are updating their investigation after shots were fired at a home near Tesson and Bathurst again, and this time an arrest was made. Let's listen in.
This morning, police responded to the sounds of gunshots on Lady Angela Lane in Vaughan. Due to the recent violence in Vaughan, York Regional Police has increased police patrols and presence in neighborhoods, and we were able to respond quickly. Police attempted to contain the suspect vehicle, and after a short foot pursuit with the assistance of K9, the suspect was arrested. A handgun was recovered from the scene. There were no injuries to any officers, and the suspect received only minor injuries. 23-year-old Kajan Isaiah Doman from Innisfil is charged with firearms-related offenses, dangerous operation, and possession of property obtained by crime. Investigators are connecting this to two other shootings from the weekend in Vaughan. A third incident from the weekend is being considered, as a dark Honda Civic was observed in all three of those incidents of the weekend. I want to make it clear, the address of today's incident was the intended target, not the resident. We are appealing to anyone that our investigators have not yet spoken to that may have video or dash cam footage from the area, may have heard or seen something, to please reach out to them. And at this time, I also do want to address that we did respond to a home invasion on the west end of Vaughan about an hour after this incident. These two incidents are not connected. We will release information about that incident in a media release later today. As you can imagine, our officers, our holdup investigators, are very busy, and they've been working tirelessly to ensure the safety of our citizens in light of recent events that have been going on in Vaughan. I will take a few questions, but as I mentioned, it is very early in this investigation, and I'm limited in the information that I can share. Well, that would be all part of the investigation that our investigators would be looking at. There was one suspect that we arrested last night. He was a lone actor in that shooting. There are no outstanding suspects from last night's incident. Whether he's related to the weekend shootings, that's something that is currently under investigation.
Or at least two other shootings, those other shootings, the ones that were in this general neighborhood from the weekend, is that correct?
Yes.
So you think they're all connected? I know it's early. Any sort of motive, any idea what could be behind these shootings?
We believe, like as I said, that the address here was the intended target, not the resident that is here. This house was unoccupied at the time of the shooting overnight. The suspect right now, it's too early to say whether he was involved in those shootings on the weekend. We are still looking for that dark Honda Civic. And as we know, it's very common for criminals to have access to multiple stolen vehicles. So that's all linkages and investigative avenues that our investigators will be working on right now to try to piece together. There's been 4 shooting incidents. It's a lot of work. The fact that we were in this area and able to arrest this suspect quite quickly and without anyone being injured is, I think, is an amazing thing for our investigators to have achieved last night.
There was a lot of people telling us in the neighborhood how shaken they were about this incident. What would you say to them who are continuing to be shaken because of how many have happened?
It is concerning. We have had a lot of incidents in Vaughan. In this neighborhood, I can say that this address was targeted. We have the suspect in custody. We've recovered a handgun, and the address is what was the intended target. This was not random.
We also heard from neighbors that earlier that day, police were already attending at this house for potential break-and-enter. Can you go a little into what happened there?
Yeah, yesterday we did respond for a break-and-enter. We're looking at that report. It's still very, very early to get into the details of that. I'll take one more question.
At this house, though? Break and enter?
At this house, yes. Yeah.
Maybe you could just speak to the fact that there was that increased police presence that seems to have helped officers identify the suspect and make this quick arrest. So your officers were already around here. Did those officers hear the gunshots and then respond?
I don't know the exact details. I do believe that they did hear. We were in this area we were actively investigating the ongoing recent events. I believe it was our officers that heard those sounds of gunshots and were able to get here very quickly, so quickly that we were able to take the only suspect that was here into custody.
And one more question, if I may. We saw there was some video of on the corner what appeared to be a crash with a light-colored vehicle. I believe that's the suspect's vehicle. Was there a bit of a pursuit there in tracking that person down?
There was. We did have a bit of a collision, and there was a short foot pursuit. Our officers are okay, and the suspect received minor injuries.
So the suspect.
That was my last question. Thank you.
Okay. The suspect was here.
Thank you. Okay, so if you're just listening in there live, an update from York Regional Police on this shooting investigation in Vaughan along a Lady Angela Lane. This is in the Teston and Bathurst Street area. What we just heard from police confirming a 23-year-old man from Innisfil is currently in custody. No word yet on the charges he's facing, but again, he's been arrested, believed to be connected to the shooting at this home behind me here, Jamie, but also 2 other shootings in this neighborhood. We covered those shootings over the weekend. Very similar circumstances, homes shot at, vehicles, no injuries, but something very similar to what we're looking at here at this home behind us here. And what we heard the police stress is that they believe the address was targeted, not the residence. So suggesting something to do with this home, the people who maybe own it, that sort of thing. But, you know, this wasn't random. This was a targeted shooting, according to police. I'm just going to go through some of my notes here in terms of what else they were able to say. The pursuit after. So when we got here first thing this morning, Jamie, talking to residents, they were talking about how much of a scene there was when they woke up, and we saw that in some video. We might even be able to air that now from someone who lives on the street. You can see that they had the whole street blocked off after, and there was also a car at the front end of the street. It looked like it had some damage in it. What we heard from police, there was a short pursuit, they say, and they were able to stop that vehicle. The suspect took off on foot. That's the 23-year-old man. That's when they made the arrest. They say he had a handgun on him, likely the gun used in the shooting behind me here, and he is in custody. They also said an officer was injured in all of that, but that officer is going to be okay. The injury is considered minor. So certainly a lot of concerning details here given what's happened in this very quiet residential neighborhood and this community of Vaughan. People are on edge. This is the 4th shooting in Vaughan in less than a week. There were 3 over the weekend. Now we know at least 3 of them believed to be connected to the suspect in custody. There was a 4th that happened closer to the Weston Road area, and that one, police say they're still trying to get a sense of whether this suspect could be connected to that one. We also know the police say they're still looking for the dark-colored Honda. That's a car or a vehicle that they believe was involved in at least 3 of the shootings over the weekend. So the search is still on for that vehicle. But certainly a little bit more information on what they have as part of all this. As for the motive, it doesn't sound like we really know, at least not yet. That will certainly be part of the investigation. Over to you, Jamie.
Thanks for those updates.